Well, good morning. I'm going to give you a little bit of a garage update. As you can see, the garage I think has come along fine. I mean, all the brickwork is done. The roof is on. None of the interior work is done yet. Now today I'm going to have an electrician come out and wire up the inside of the garage. So as of right now, last fall I had on my outside electrical box I had a different electrician come out and put a new breaker in, a lot of extra cable which will go up the house and across to the garage. Let's go in the garage. I just want to show you a little before picture in terms of the electrical. In terms of the electrical, there'll be a box up here somewhere on the wall, a little breaker box. I had to draw in picture form where I wanted things. There's a light switch there, one for an outside motion detector light, one to control the lights in the actual garage. On this wall where I plan on having my workbench, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outlets and another switch near this exterior door, kind of a three-way switch connected again for the overhead lights, so you can turn it off leaving either way from the garage. And another outlet over here on this wall, and yes, is that a window? Yes, it is a nice big window because I like there's some nice natural light coming here, so it's not just a dark garage. Another outlet on that short wall. This wall over here will just be storage. So I just have 1, 2, 3 outlets. And then up on the roof, I don't see any need to show, but I have 6 different lights up there. And they'll all be controlled by one switch. And there'll be one more wire coming down to handle the electric garage door opener. So I just wanted to show you, because the construction here, the outside of the house is all brick, and the inside is something called aerated block, which is insulated block. They're cement, but they're very light because they're full of air bubbles. And I want to show you the before and after to show you how here in Russia they put wire in a situation like this where it's all cement block. And in the end, I'll show you a little bit as they go along, and I'll also show you the finished product and the price, what it costs here to get that done. So in this garage still I have up in the ceiling, I'm going to do sheetrock, just mainly because the price of plywood and OSB and everything here is so expensive right now, just like it is in the States. And above the sheetrock, it'll be insulated because I'm going to have this be a garage which I can heat if I wish. And strangely enough, for people in the States, the floor will be tiled. I've never been in a tiled garage before. Well, as I go and each part is finished, I'll give you another update on this garage. Okay, see you. Yeah, hi, this is after day 1 of the wiring of my garage. It's in process. I'll just show you what's done and what some differences are. Now, here we have the wire I showed you coiled up on the ground yesterday. You can see it's now it goes from the house over to the garage with a cable support. Now, one thing I just mentioned that might have you a little curious is I said after day 1 of the wiring of my garage, because there'll be a day 2 today, and yeah, you may think 2 days to wire a garage, good Lord. In the States, I could wire my garage in probably 3 hours, which is true. I know, I've wired my garage before and wired my house. But I'll show you some of the differences and why it takes longer. Now, I'm not familiar with the electrical codes in Russia, but first our wire comes in up top there, the one we just saw coming from the house. It drops down, and you can see there's already been a box, kind of a hole for a small circuit breaker box chopped into the block itself. Now, one of the big differences here, like in the States, we would normally be passing through wooden studs, right? We'd have holes passing through the studs. Here it's different. Here they have to cut like a channel. You can see if I get closer, you can see that there's actual channels cut into the block, and it doesn't come in and then pass from outlet to outlet. For example, here's outlet, well, double outlet. Here's another outlet, double outlet, and there is no wire that passes directly between the two. You can see there's like a main wire comes down from where it enters. It comes from the box. It goes along the top, and then there's a small little junction box. It's round, white, that drops down to where the outlet will be. Continues on up top, another junction box, drops down to where the outlet will be, and etc., etc. So the wire is traveling, the cable is traveling, in this case up above, in a channel of its own, with a junction box each place where it branches down. So unlike in the States, where we would have it maybe pass through studs and have the actual box, the box for each outlet. The outlet box is where the junction will be made. Here it's a separate thing. And I can say this isn't something that they just started recently in Russia. I've had apartments here that were built in the 1960s, and the same type of method was used. So it must be some sort of code. So anyhow, we continue on. I have a place here for a switch, a three-way switch. And we continue. It's all pretty much the same. We're looking at now all of the outlets, and seems to stop here. There's still 3 more outlets to serve. Up above, in the ceiling, I have cables. Again, this one, there's no junction box because it's the end of this run. But again, each place, other than that, where there's a light, there's a junction box up above it, and then the cable drops down, and you see it's regular like Romex wire, but it's shielded with extra protection. So I have 6 total lights, ceiling lights. They're pretty big. I mean, here's a box. You can just see my hand. It's a big box. That's what'll be there. 6 places. Probably too much light. I don't know. And outside there's a motion detector light. This cable right here hanging down will be for the automatic garage door opener, which also will have a light that goes on, well, like all of them. So this is not done yet. This is after, I would say the guy worked 10 hours. I'd say about 10 hours yesterday on this. And well, here we go, another. This is the box, will be where the box is installed. Here another junction box that goes across, and that'll feed the motion detector light outside of the garage, and it comes down to a a double switch, which will be actually it's a three-way switch. No, just now this garage is about a 400 square foot garage, by the way. And here's where the cable comes out for the motion detector light that'll be installed. Okay, well, that was what was done on day one of the garage electrical work. And today, the electrician's coming back, and I imagine he'll finish up today. So we'll see that when it's all done. Hi there, we're here to do another garage electrical system progress check. Get out of the way of the bright sun here. We can see out here we have the motion detector spotlight is all hooked up in the center of the garage. Let's go inside and take a look. Our electrician went and swept up everything, which means he's done for right now. So he cleaned up after himself. That's very nice. Okay, here we saw the empty spot for the electrical box the other day. We now see a small circuit breaker box. Looks like four circuit breakers. Now, right now, you'll also notice, well, there's no cover on it. You'll see like a switch. This will be a switch, which goes up, well, to, like we saw yesterday, to junctions. So I'll just concentrate on the new stuff. So right now, the outlets are not in. The actual outlets themselves and the covers are not in any of the locations, or the switches, or for that matter, the cover to the circuit breaker box is also not in. That's because they're coming in to cover up this blocks, the blocks plus all the channels with like a type of spackle, which will cover everything and make it look fairly smooth, which I can then paint, and it'll give the appearance of almost like we're indoors in a room. So yesterday, the electrician finished up his work. These boxes, the little boxes where the actual outlets and switches will go, were installed along with the electrical panel. It's got 4 breakers. I'm not sure what function each breaker has at this point. I'll find out afterwards, I guess. The electrician will come back after the spackle has been applied, and he'll install all of the outlets and switches and, well, the covers and everything else that's needed, plus the lights. You can see here he's got a light bulb hanging from the 4 corners of the lights. There's going to be 6 ceiling lights altogether. And the light bulbs hanging, of course, are just temporary. The finished lights will be ceiling flush mounted spots, and they'll be LED. But until the ceiling is put up and insulated, it's set up so that I can still have some light in here. So let's walk around a little bit and take a look at some of this work. You can see the boxes are one of the first things in terms of differences from what you would see in the States. Is the boxes they're round. They're not rectangular. They're not as deep as you might think. Like, for example, these are like a half-depth US box. They're not very deep, and the main reason why they're not very deep is because they're not acting as a junction box. Remember that. In the States, the outlet is acting as a junction box. And this one, your junction box is actually up here, the little round thing with the little white plastic cover. That's your junction box. And it comes down. So the only thing inside of these boxes will be the wires for the actual outlet. That's all. So we've got over here, we've got what will be a double switch. One will be 3-way switch for the lights. because there's another door in the garage where there'll be another switch. The other switch is for the outside spotlight, so that during the day I don't have the thing turning on and off every time I walk by it, the motion detector. So along this wall I've got, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outlets, which my wife I felt was excessive, although along this wall I'm going to have 3 meters worth of workbench, so well, it's about 10 feet long of workbench and stuff, so I'll have power tools plugged in here, and I'll use the 5 outlets, I'm sure. Over here we have my other door of my garage off to the side, and I have the other 3-way switch to turn on and off the lights. Not much to see out here. This will be actually the pavers over there. There'll be a skirt, in other words a paver surrounding the outside of the garage, and then a small connector right here, so I can take the snow blower on, you know, over there if I want, and just another exit so I don't have to step in the mud. In the back wall of the garage we have one outlet here. I may end up having some sort of a big kerosene powered heater back here, but my nice window with a view of the oak trees, lots of oak trees out there. Window isn't installed yet, I'm not sure when that's going to happen. Another outlet over on this wall. And this wall is going to be primarily just storage, you know, dead storage. And I've got 1, 2, and there's another one down here. This one actually has an outlet wired in, temporary, just in case someone's working in here and they need power before the walls are spackled and the outlets are all put in. That is a final outlet. That's the type of outlet I bought for this garage. So, I mean, that's it for now. The last part of this little electrical series will just be a quick visual showing it when the walls are done and the outlets are all installed and the ceiling's done, the lights are installed. Just the finished electrical is what we'll show later on. But I hope that this has been a little informative for you as to how here in Russia things are done. Oh, and by the way, when I do the final one, I'll also go over what the costs were, the final cost to have all this electrical work done. All right, well, thank you.